Good Monday morning. I'm sure many of you saw a great number of my Instagram posts last year when I was reading the book Heaven by Randy Alcorn. You know, it's really interesting. I grew up with this vivid imagination of heaven and what it was going to be like. And I remember one of my earliest memories is riding to school with my dad. I think it was kindergarten. And I was just really struggling with something. And I said, Dad, you know, when we get to heaven, is Mom's fried chicken going to be there? Now, if you've ever had Mama's fried chicken, you would want to know the answer to that question too. And my dad, in a way that's such the sweet heart of a father's love for his child, said, baby girl, all the things that you love and that matter to you will be in heaven. Now, you can debate the theology of that if you want, but I know what he was speaking to my heart in that moment. And over through life, I will have these moments where I just have to stop and imagine what heaven's going to be like. And one of my hopes is that God will get this huge IMAX screen out. I mean, can you imagine an IMAX in heaven? And he'll get this huge IMAX screen out, and he'll start with creation when he formed the world. And he'll go all the way to our story. And we'll get to see all of the beautiful ways he protected and cared and loved and shepherded and shielded us in our story. And we'll get to experience this beautiful love story between a father and their child. But interestingly enough, not everyone thinks about or feels that way about heaven. Many people, including my husband, we were taking a trip recently, and this is how the whole topic came up. I'm sharing him all these beautiful things about heaven, and he said, babe, I just, have seen heaven as, just flying around and singing, and it just hasn't been a place that my heart's been drawn to. And interestingly enough, Randy talks about that in the very beginning of the book, that's one of the greatest lies propagated to our hearts. Because if the enemy can create heaven to be a place that we don't want to go, then why would we want to tell anybody about it? And yet, our hearts were created for this home. In fact, think about your last vacation. You may have been gone for a week or two, and at some point you may have said, man, I'm just ready to get home. Because there is something about home. And that's why in this life, we are continually searching, and even the most beautiful of experiences. C.S. Lewis says it like this. He says, if I find in myself a desire which no experience in this world can satisfy, the most probable explanation is that I was made for another world. So even the most incredible things we've ever experienced, touring the Sistine Chapel or jumping out of an airplane from 14,000 feet, there is still a longing for more, and that's because the longing is for home. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, I put eternity in the hearts of man. We were created to serve Jesus, to be in a love relationship with Jesus so we can enjoy eternity with him. And he tells us in John 14, do not let your hearts be troubled or distressed or agitated. You believe in and adhere to and trust in and rely on God. Believe in and adhere to and trust in and rely also in me. In my Father's house, there are many dwelling places. In parentheses, the Amplified Bible writes, homes. If it were not so, I would have told you. For I am going away to prepare a place for you, and when and if I go and make ready a place for you, I will come back again and will take you to myself, that where I am, you may be also. Friends, I don't know about you, but I have a longing for home. It is a beautiful place waiting on you and I. And friends, if you have never trusted Jesus with your heart, I encourage you to pray a prayer surrendering your heart to him. In fact, let's do it together, Lord. I come to you right now, asking you to forgive me of my sins. I accept Jesus, this one who was left this earth to prepare a home for me. I accept him as my Lord and Savior. And I surrender my heart to you. Friends, if you prayed that prayer in faith, believing Jesus has entered your story, he has entered your heart, and he has prepared a home waiting just for you. We're going to be there together one day with our Father, with the bridegroom, and we will finally be home.